I am very interested to see where this new Avengers movie and new Avengers saga goes. It remains to be seen whether this will be really good or really bad. We don't really know. You never really know until a movie comes out. I think I'm typically a little more in between than most people on some of these movies. Some of the movies, I get it. I didn't enjoy them, hence I didn't cover them. But movies like, I give you an example, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. I thoroughly, thoroughly enjoyed that movie. I had no issue with that movie. I'm not telling you it was the greatest movie ever. There was a lot of honest critiques, and I'm not saying it wasn't worthy of critiques, but I thought, man, this movie is actually good. I thought Kang the Conqueror was menacing, and I was actually looking forward to seeing that Kang the Conqueror arc actually played out. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see that. We know everything that transpired with that. Unfortunate things happen. But sometimes movies are good, sometimes movies are bad. Obviously, we know that. And so I remain on the fence with many of these Marvel movies that are yet to be released. I'm not jumping on the it's going to be great train, and I'm not jumping on the it's going to be trash train. I don't know. It could go either way. I've been surprised by movies. I thought, honestly, the Batman, I thought that was going to be a bad movie. And to my surprise, I left that movie theater thinking to myself, man, I can't wait for the second one. Now, who knows whether we will get the second one or not. Anyway, let's get into this article. Cosmic book dot news. Chris Hemsworth gets a new look in Avengers Doomsday. Luke Cage tease. Now, if Luke Cage shows up in the greater Marvel universe in some of the movies, in my humble opinion, that would be fantastic. That would be fantastic. Now, obviously, fantastic depending on how it's delivered. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, there are a couple of updates regarding Avengers Doomsday, which include that Chris Hemsworth sounds like he will get a new Thor costume. It's also teased that Luke Cage might be in the movie. That's a good thing. I think these movies and TV shows crossing over and making sure it's understood that these things are cohesive is a good thing, but we'll see exactly how this is delivered if it actually happens. The Russo brothers continue to film Avengers Doomsday in the UK, where info trickles out from the UK sites. Now, I've said this before, and I will repeat what I said. I believe if the Russo brothers keep that same sauce they had from the beginning with Marvel, or from their beginning with Marvel, I have no reason to believe that these dudes are going to release a movie that's just going to be outright bad. I I don't see that. Now, maybe it's not as good, but I don't see it being just outright bad. Maybe they have some missteps, but again, these are all things you don't know until you get to that point. The new Thor costume. As an interview with Chris Hemsworth's trainer, it's revealed that they are really concentrating on building up Chris Hemsworth's shoulders and arms for the movie. It's of course so Hemsworth can show off his big guns via the Independent. The pair have also been paying a special attention to Hemsworth's arms and shoulders, having seen his costume for the film will highlight these areas. So that's not really, it's not groundbreaking news, right? Like Hemsworth gets a new costume. The Luke Cage news, though, was much bigger news than that. It is probably safe to say they won't be using the goofy costume from Thor: Love and Thunder. And I don't mind comedy in comic book movies, but it will be nice if this is a return to form. You know, comedy when you can fit something in there every now and again. But I like serious Thor. The Thor comic books I read growing up, this is what I remember of Thor. I don't remember joking Thor. So it was kind of different seeing Thor in that light. With Charlie Cox back as Daredevil, Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin, and John Bernthal as the Punisher, and known Kristen Ritter returning as Jessica Jones, does that mean Luke Cage will be back in the MCU? According to The Sun, Marvel built a 1960s style U.S. House of Cage. That's not all, as the site claims a house was also built for Annie Reynolds, said to be the mother of Lewis Pullman's Robert Reynolds, aka the Century from Thunderbolts. The info comes with it said. The info comes with it said. Marvel spent millions to film at Windsor Great Park, which is next to Windsor Castle, the home of the royal family. And I'm sure if this happened, somebody had to see it. I mean, unless they did it on some off time, dead of the night, somebody had to see something. Reportedly, Marvel will be filming there this summer with a crew of 300. The scenes are said to involve Luke Cage's house and Annie Reynolds' house. The reason why there's a 1960s house for Luke Cage is unknown. The actor who played Luke Cage is only 48, born in 1976. Ditto for Annie Reynolds, who appears to be new for the MCU. If I had to guess, since we're dealing with multiverse incursions and all that kind of stuff, there could be all kind of reasons why they're doing this, 1960s thing. There's a bunch of multiversal reasons that would definitely explain that. Avengers Doomsday gets released December 18th, 2026. Joe and Anthony Russo are directing. Secret Wars gets released on December 17th, 2027. Filming is currently underway in the UK. And I wonder, like all of the movies that are going to be in between, I wonder how those movies are going to work out. A lot of people think Marvel can't return. They're doomed to release trash. I'm not necessarily doom and gloom. I always add this caveat. I'm not naive. I understand it's an uphill battle, but I think it can be done. I think there are things that can be done by Marvel to right the ship and make this movie what it is supposed to be. But we shall see if they do that and meet the fans where they are. Making up the 27 member, and they're going to go over all of the people in the movie. I'm not getting ready to go through all of that again. Anyway, that was the article. So I don't know. I don't know why they focused so heavily in that article on the new costume. I think it's something that everybody expected, especially if you saw Love and Thunder. I don't think you expected to have that same style Thor in a new Thor movie. And, so many years have passed. I just assumed that there was going to be a new costume. So that doesn't really surprise me. The Luke Cage thing, I'm definitely interested to see where that goes. What Marvel does with that. What do they have in store? It's clear they're trying to make some moves. They're trying to get some sort of correction to get back in the good graces of fans. Will they do what's actually necessary? I don't know. I think sometimes we have signs that they will, and sometimes it seems like maybe they're not listening. But we won't really know until the movie happens. I don't know what I think yet about Fantastic Four. I've seen, some of the commercial spots for Fantastic Four. I've seen some of the, air quote leaks. I always put leaks in air quotes because my conspiracy theory mind goes, I think, yeah, they could be leaking these things to kind of get you thinking one thing about the movie and go in a whole nother direction. But who knows? Fantastic Four is another one of those movies where I can't call it. There are things about the movie that intrigues me, like, oh, this is interesting. And then there's other things that I'm like, I don't know. So we'll see. I will, if when the movie comes out, I'll see what people are saying. I don't always go off what critics or people or commentators are saying, because obviously sometimes they say this movie's bad, but then when you go see the movie, it's like, no, I actually like that. Like How to Train Your Dragon is one of them. I've seen some reviews that straight up trashed How to Train Your Dragon, but I was like, I came away with the exact opposite view. Yeah, there was some stuff sprinkled in there that you could have done without. That's every movie, but the movie as a whole was good. So if I would have listened to a lot of the critics I've seen, I wouldn't have gone to see the movie, and I would have missed out on something that was truly actually a very good and entertaining experience. And I wonder if this same is going to hold true for the Fantastic Four. Is it going to be one of those movies that's really attacked by most people just because they're expecting it to be bad and turns out to be actually good? Or will it be one of those movies you go into and you leave the theater and you're like, yeah, I could have done without that one. We shall see.